Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. Today I'm so excited to tell you about a readathon that I am co-hosting along with the amazing Emily from Novell Novels. The readathon is called the Spoonies Readathon and it's designed to celebrate disability. Visible disabilities, invisible disabilities, chronic illness, any type of disability that you can think of, we want to celebrate it in this readathon. This readathon will be taking place throughout the entire month of May, and there will be a live show on Emily's channel and one on my channel at the beginning and the end of the month. I'll leave information for those in the description below. Now if you're new here and you don't know me, then hi, I'm Kat and I'm autistic. I was formally diagnosed as autistic around age 26. I kind of don't remember, and time exists in like a weird space in my mind, but anyway, I've been autistic my whole life. I just didn't know about it until, mid-20s. So I've been identifying with my disabled identity since then, and I found it just really fascinating to learn about different disabilities and different ways that the world could change to accommodate people who the world isn't built for currently. And I feel like the first step towards that is having more people be aware. A lot of people still see the word disability as, a bad word. Don't call yourself disabled, call yourself differently abled. Oh my god, it's a superpower. No, it's just who I am. It's just how my brain works. And you know what? I'm perfectly happy with how my brain works. What I would love is if the world around me was just more accessible, generally. I appear to have gone off on a tangent here, so let's just roll it back a little bit. The purpose of this readathon is to explore disability in books. And Emily and I created 7 prompts in a group book so that we could, encourage everyone to read widely around the topic of disability. If you aren't aware what a spoonie is, it is essentially a person with a chronic illness of some sort that has to ration their energy throughout the day. That's a very simplistic form of explaining that. I also don't know if I've mentioned on the channel yet, but I have chronic pain, and I have been experiencing chronic pain for about a year and a half now, and it sort of was something that my doctors were testing for a while. They didn't really know what it was, and they've sort of settled on hypermobile disorder, so I'm kind of in pain all the time. But the levels of pain vary, and that kind of impacts what I do on a day-to-day basis. So I am a spoonie, and I feel like getting to host this readathon with Emily, who has her own disabilities, and I urge you to go and check out her video where she talks about some of those. She has multiple videos where she talks about disabilities on her channel, and I urge you to go and check her out because I feel like she's just such a positive voice when it comes to disability, and you should just go and check her out. So let's talk about the prompts. You can do as many or as few of these as you like, but if you need some ideas, here are the prompts that we've come up with. Number 1 is to read a book written by an author with a disability. The author might be visibly disabled, have an invisible disability, chronic pain. There are tons of lists online that you can go and check out, and it will help you fulfill this prompt. Own voices books are typically better representations of disability as the author has lived experience. So if you want to join us and you only want to read one book, then I urge you to read one with an author who has a disability. Prompt number 2 is to read a book with a character who has an invisible disability. Now this could be any type of neurodivergence, autism, ADHD, dyscalculia, dyslexia, dyspraxia. It could be chronic pain, it could be deafness. Anything that isn't immediately obvious counts as an invisible disability. Prompt number 3 is to read a non-fiction book about a disability. Now I know probably a lot of the people who are watching my channel are fiction readers because I do mostly talk about fiction books, but I personally will be challenging myself while doing this readathon to engage with non-fiction books about disability and about different experiences that people have. I'm particularly interested in learning about the social model of disability, so I'll probably be reading a book about that because I find that really interesting, and it's about how disability and our world interact together. Prompt number 4 is to read a book about disability that isn't from a contemporary genre. Now I'm super excited about this one because I tend to find if I'm trying to read a book that has a disabled main character, they tend to put the disabled character in our world, and I'm reading about a contemporary setting. No, I want to read about disabled people in fantasy worlds and sci-fi worlds. I want to see these disabled characters in the same settings and the same scenarios as I'm seeing these able-bodied characters. And I want to read about it because disabled people can be just as badass as able-bodied people. So I feel like this is a really good opportunity to seek out different genres that disabled people are existing in and sort of sharing that love. And also please, if you make a TBR for this video, can you share the book that you're reading for this prompt? Because I want as many of these recommendations as possible. Prompt number 5 is to read a book featuring a disability that affects one of the 5 senses. I'm not going to explain what the 5 senses are, pretty sure you all know because you're adults, and if you're not an adult, well, why are you watching my channel? This is not a place for you. Prompt number 5 is to read a book featuring a disability from a person of colour or from a non-Western perspective. In the same way that a lot of the books that are really easily accessible and most talked about on booktube are from a contemporary genre. A lot of them are also Western focused and usually featuring white characters. The idea here is to broaden your horizons, get that different perspective. Different perspectives and intersectionality are so important when we're learning about people's lived experiences, and I feel like we need to experience this in fiction as well as we do in our own lives. And prompt number 7 is to read a book featuring a disability that is visible. So this could be books featuring a character that uses a wheelchair, or has spina bifida, or cerebral palsy, or Down syndrome. There are so many examples of things that you can choose from. Just do a quick Google search, I'm sure you'll find something. Now, we're also going to be reading a group book for this readathon, and the book is called The Secret of Haven Point by Lisette Auton. In Emily's video, she's read out the synopsis, so I'm just gonna summarize. There's disabled heroes in this magical fantasy setting, and a found family trope, which I gotta be honest, I adore. So please join us to read The Secret of Haven Point. We're gonna be reading it at some point throughout the month, and we'll be talking about it in the live show that we have at the end of the month. So I think that's all the information that I wanted to talk about in this video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. If this sounded like fun, I hope you'll join Emily and me as we embark on the Spoonies Readathon. Use the hashtag Spoonies2024. And if you made it this far into the video, please leave me a spoon emoji in the comments. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!